What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys a quick market update as Bitcoin is flirting with a very key level right now. And this level, if held as support, could wind up giving us a move back up to our range highs at about $29,000. But if we wind up rejecting that level, it could give us a move back down to our range lows at about $26,900. So in this video, I want to go over this key level. We are currently rejecting it, but we're kind of just flirting up and down around it. So I want to go over that key level, and then I want to talk about some of the bearish signs popping up on some of the higher time frames and even some of the medium time frames, and talk about the likelihood of these playing out. I'll give you guys the bullish case. I'll give you the bearish case, let you know which way I'm leaning, because although we have these bearish signs popping up, we have to remember that Bitcoin did just put in a little bit of a higher low here at another really interesting level that we will take a look at in just a second. But we have to look at both scenarios because you guys will know that money flow on the 4-hour does look pretty saucy. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of these urgent market updates or awesome tutorials that we upload to the channel. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the chart, take a look at some of these key levels. I'm going to show you guys some of those really bearish patterns forming. I'll also be showing you the line in the sand where I pretty much flip completely bearish, and then we'll also take a look at the bullish case. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin 4-hour chart, and as I said, Bitcoin is flirting with a very key level, and that key level is this point of control. We also have really nice confluence with this level and a golden pocket. But we are flirting with this key level right now. And again, as you guys know, typically with the volume profiles, once you get accepted back in below that value area high, you are expecting a move back down to your POC. I am short from just about right here where we started to break down. It was a setup we gave in the premium Discord, and I am still holding that short trade. But one of those reasons we were looking for that move down, amongst many things, is that we might break below that value area high. And if we did that, we knew that we would likely get a move down towards the POC, which obviously we did just get. However, we have to expect some kind of support on that point of control because, again, on the 4-hour, guys, we do have this beautiful money flow crossover into the green. We are starting to roll back over here just a little bit, but the fact that this money flow crossed over into the green and we have confirmed bullish divergences down here could mark a local bottom. So I guess kind of with that being said, let's go over the bullish case here. And the bullish case really lies on the 4-hour time frame, in my opinion, with those confirmed bull divs, again, oftentimes marking a pretty strong local bottom. We have now gotten that money flow crossover, which could be a pretty bullish sign. And on top of that, guys, we also have come down and put in a higher low on our 786 Fibonacci retracement level, which we know is a place that Bitcoin loves to come down and put in higher lows at. And you can see we've actually come down to this level, tapped it almost perfectly, and this may be a higher low before getting a little bit of a bounce off of this POC. Now, if we do get that bounce on the POC, I will be looking back up to these range highs, basically this white box between about 29.1 and about 28,773. That will be the next place I will be looking for some kind of a rejection, because we do have our local golden pocket here, and just like we like to put in higher lows here at our 786 fib retracement levels or your golden pocket, sometimes Bitcoin likes to put in lower highs at these same levels when you pull them from the highs to the lows. So I will be looking up towards that white box if this 4-hour green dot and money flow crossover winds up giving us a move to the upside. Now, I will be looking for rejections at this level because, again, you want to remember, typically when you get accepted below that value area low, not only are you expecting to come to your POC, but you are eventually expecting to come down to your value area low, which right now is coming in at about $26,900. But we have to remember that price action is very messy, so it would make a lot of sense for us to come down here, tap that 786, get on top of that POC, kind of bing-bong around, maybe test those range highs one more time before eventually losing that POC again and then coming back down to your range lows. Now, speaking of those range lows, obviously that was kind of the bullish case here, again, lying on the 4-hour with those bull divs and that money flow crossover into the green. However, if we do get a move down back to our range lows, guys, that kind of brings us to the bearish things popping up. Now, obviously, I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this Head and Shoulders. It is kind of wonky in my opinion. You kind of have this big range going on here, but we do basically have a Head and Shoulders here, and the technical breakdown target for this Head and Shoulders is about $23,000. You can see that right about here. But if you go ahead and take, TradingView gives you that that measured move. But if you go ahead and pull it from the high to the neckline here and measure it out there, it actually does come in just at about $23,000, which does match up with our point of control from this previous range from back in February. So it would make a lot of sense if this does break down to get that move down to 23K. However, this is not the only bearish sign popping up on the chart. If you come up to your daily, obviously we did go ahead and confirm that daily blood diamond on our regular candles, which could be a very, very bearish sign. A lot of times these can mark very, very strong tops, and this is confirmed now, so it is locked in. But our money flow is coming up, which is worth noting as well. But blood diamond on the daily, definitely more of a bearish look. And then if you come over to your 2-day, you can see we are now printing a 2-day blood diamond, also a very, very high time frame to get one of these very bearish signals. So this is something we have to keep in mind, and all of this is coming in at the same time as our weekly red dot has confirmed. And again, this is something we've been watching for quite a while. This could potentially still play out a little bit more here. Now, again, in the longer term, our money flow has crossed into the green. Kind of hard to see there on the weekly. So again, longer term, that would be a good sign. But in the short term, this red dot may continue to show itself, especially with that 2-day blood diamond printing and that daily blood diamond confirmed. Now, before I leave you guys in all this doom and gloom on the higher time frames, I will just let you guys know, as you guys might be familiar with, we were looking at on my live stream, if we get this move back down to these range lows, this is not the time to get super, super bearish and just start shorting Bitcoin, right? Because we know a lot of the time, especially with the volume profiles, price likes to come down here and deviate slightly from the range before coming back to the highs. You can see it happen right there, happened again right here, and it happens to the upside as well. Very often you will deviate from these ranges before getting sucked back in to your value area, because this is the fair value for Bitcoin. So anytime you're outside of your value area high, you can think of that as overbought, and anytime you're out of your value area low, you can think of that as oversold. So with that being said, if we do get that move down below this value area low, we do have this local golden pocket, in which case I will be looking for longs because we are simply at the bottom of the range. If I do not get those bullish confirmations, I will expect that breakdown of this range and Head and Shoulders. And if we pull up our visible range volume profile, you can see if we do lose this range, it would be pretty likely to fall through this volume gap and come down to this level at about 25K, in which case, if we lose these lows, I will flip more bearish and expect that move down to between about 25.3 to about 24.8. And then if we lose those levels, that is where I start to flip a little bit more bearish in the long term, and I would expect that Head and Shoulders to play out in full to 23K. And real quick, before I let you guys go, shout out to anybody in my live stream last night where we caught this little Pepe scalp. Now, I do want to point out that none of this stuff is, a trade signal or financial advice, but we were looking at Pepe actually approaching a local value area high / local golden pocket, where we were seeing some bearish confirmations, and I was saying, hey, you know what, if I was going to scalp short this, I actually couldn't find a place to short Pepe. I now found out it's on MEXC, but we were looking at a potential short from that value area high / local golden pocket, potentially all the way down to our value area low. But knowing how the volume profiles work, we were looking to take profit here at that point of control, and it would have been a beautiful little 15% trade. Didn't get to the value area low, but that's why you always have multiple take profits. So shout out to anybody out there not only holding Pepe, but anybody that might have seen that info that we gave on the live stream last night. Again, never financial advice, but hey, you never know when you'll catch those free gems on the Frankie Candles live stream. And as you can see, we are at the range lows on Pepe again. Now, it is just a local range, so it is possible to break down below this level, especially with your money flow coming out on the 1 hour and 45 minute. But remember, guys, meme coins don't always respect that TA, but if I were watching levels on Pepe, I would be watching this value area low coming in at about 0.0000106264. Very hard to read those numbers. So, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. Now, remember, the bearish signs are out there, but if we get to those range lows, you do not want to get super bearish, right? Because you don't want to short into support. When you come to those range lows, personally for me, I will be looking for longs, especially if we deviate outside of that range because we have that local golden pocket there. But if we wind up breaking down, bearishly retesting that value area low, I will be looking for that head and shoulders to play out. And now you guys have those levels to the downside to look for some good support. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Can.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command line.